Alright, sit up. So today we're going to be going over the butterfly guard and looking at the idea of her position as well as my response to that for a basic left or right style pass. So when she's coming in here, she wants to hook her feet in. If I'm sitting back comfortably, she's not quite doing her job. She wants to pull my frame up a little bit, my base up a little bit, and she's going to be leaning forward so that her head and shoulders are almost similar with her butt back. She doesn't want to be here. That's what I want to start doing, is having her back off of her base, but she wants to be leaning forward. This is an aggressive guard for her. As we're going, we're hand fighting here. She's usually staring right at my chest. The forehead's almost under my chin. She's trying to get that inside position to get underhooks, and then she can pull me. So what I'm trying to do is obviously avoid that, right? I'm going to be grip fighting. And a good game for me, if she's keeping her arms on the inside of the legs, is to encourage that. Working these outside grips, so I have an outside lane. What I want to occasionally do is almost a snap down. I pull down and she pops up. Now we're exaggerating it here, but when I do it with my partner in real life rolling, I'm just going to hit, and although she's got hair, a lot of times we're sweaty. I'm just sliding off, just enough that I pull. So we're fighting here, I pull, I'm looking like this. And what I'm looking for is that reaction back up. When I see that, I still have the outside lane. I'm going to stiff arm the shoulders, and as I push her back, I'm going to scoop my hips in, bring her heels all the way to her butt. So I'm stiff arming here, boom, and I come in tight. Just walk it back a little bit so you stay on the camera. So as I come in tight, I want to think of boxing up. The closer I get her heels to her butt, the better for me. Elbows in tight. So if I'm way like this, she can start kicking her feet towards me and scoot her butt back and sit right back. So yeah, and she come back in the position. It's no good for me. So I want to really walk my elbows back and my knees up. I'm really pulling in here, and my head I'll bury like I'm trying to check what laundry detergent she uses on her gi, right, or her rash guard. Grab here like this. Elbows in tight. Sometimes I can come up with a cup grip on the armpits. A lot of times I'll just stay underneath. Now what tends to happen is I've removed the ability for legs to work here, but her arms are still free. So she's going to start pushing my head and probably trying to scoot out. A lot of times back, but usually there's a little bit of an angle. And what I want to look for is which side does she tilt towards. So in this case, for the camera angle, she's kind of pushing my head towards the camera. As she's doing this, she's basing on one leg, and this leg comes down a little bit. Maybe it's only 10 degrees or 20 degrees, but that's fine. This far side arm, I'm going to reach behind her butt and through the legs. I'm going to open up my leg so you can see, but I'm looking to find this ankle. See, I'm reaching through, so I'm real tight on the hip, and what I want to find is the laces. Oftentimes when I first reach, I just find the heel, and I'm going to use my whole shoulder and collapse. I'm almost walking over a little bit. I can use my head to stay down. So I've got my knee behind it, elbow reinforcing it, head on the hip, and I'll pull. Okay? As I pull down, I want to get this leg to the mat hard, hard, hard. If I can get this grip of laces and pull it to her butt, that's great. Now once I'm here, I'll shift my head all the way across the far side. I'm going to keep talking so you understand what I'm doing here, but I'm going to put it on the mat, and then I'm going to use this hand, which has the elbow here, to switch to the leg and push this through as my hips come over the top. So I was here controlling this heavy. I drive across. I pull this leg out as I push that knee down. Boom, here. So at this point, I'm still holding on to the toes, and I've beaten the knee, but I still have the job of coming up into full side control. So I've got to beat the hip. I usually will use this arm to come on the top side once this bottom side arm is free. So I'm here like this, I'll reach up, pull, and then grip. We turn the angle a little bit. So she's dropped here, I'm through holding this. As I push past, I'm gonna work, drive underneath, and then I let go, come into my side control. So from this angle, just so we can see a little bit better, she's in butterfly guard, we're fighting on the inside lane, I'm giving her some snap downs, working here, I get a snap down, there's the response I want, I come in. Turn all the way this way. So as I'm here, centered, boxed up, I reach through, I find that foot. If she's turning the other way and I go through, it won't work. So I've got to pick the way she's going. So in this case, she's turning this way, trying to push my head. It helps me get this down. I drive my head through, snap that knee past, reset up into side control. There you go.